Sometimes life falls apart, only to rebuild itself in a way you never imagined. This is the story of Michael, a man from the United States who thought his life was over until Pattaya gave him a second chance. Michael was 52 years old, living in Chicago. He had worked as an engineer for almost 30 years, built a comfortable home, raised a daughter, and believed he had a stable marriage. He wasn't a rich man, but he was steady, reliable, and proud of what he had achieved. His wife Laura had been with him for more than 2 decades. They shared vacations, family dinners, and birthdays. To Michael, she was not just a partner. She was his best friend, the center of his world. Or so he thought. It started with little changes. Laura spent more time on her phone. She began going out with friends after work. Her smile toward Michael became forced, her laughter reserved for someone else. One evening, Michael came home earlier than usual. He opened the door and froze. In the living room, Laura was sitting far too close to another man. The look on her face told him everything before a single word was spoken. The world inside Michael collapsed in that moment. The home he had built, the trust he had given, the love he thought was eternal, gone. The divorce came quickly. Lawyers, papers, arguments over money and property. In the end, Michael kept the house, but it felt like an empty shell. Nights became unbearable. He would sit in silence, staring at the walls, asking himself where he had gone wrong. Friends tried to cheer him up, but their words sounded hollow. Alcohol became a companion. Every glass of whiskey was meant to numb the pain, but only made him feel more lost. Michael was alive, but not living. One day, while scrolling through old emails, he found a message from a former colleague. The man had written about his travels in Thailand, about beaches, warm weather, friendly people, and a different pace of life. A thought struck Michael. What if he left? What if he tried, just once, to step away from the ruins of his old life and see something new? On impulse, he booked a ticket. Destination: Pattaya. The moment Michael stepped out of the airport, the air felt different. Warm, heavy, but alive. The ride into the city was a blur of palm trees, motorbikes, neon lights, and a strange feeling of excitement. For the first time in years, he wasn't thinking about Laura. He wasn't thinking about the past. He was simply looking out the window, watching a new world open in front of him. His first walk down Pattaya's streets was unforgettable. The smell of grilled seafood filled the air. Music played from bars. Street vendors smiled at him as if he belonged there. Even though he was just a stranger, something inside him whispered, "This is where you start over." Days turned into weeks. Michael wandered through night markets, tasted exotic fruits, sat by the beach, and watched sunsets that painted the sky in gold and purple. He didn't rush. He didn't chase anything. He just let the city heal him, piece by piece. He met other expats, men like him, who had once felt broken and found their new lives in Thailand. They told him stories of starting businesses, marrying, or simply enjoying each day without the pressure of the old world. Michael realized he wasn't alone. His pain wasn't unique. But here in Pattaya, pain could transform into hope. One evening, while exploring Soi Buakau, Michael stopped at a small cafe. The woman serving tables was not glamorous or flashy. She was ordinary, quiet, kind, with a gentle smile. Her name was Noi. At first, their conversations were simple. Food orders, greetings, small jokes. But day by day, Michael found himself returning to that cafe. Not just for the coffee, but for her. Noi listened to him. She laughed at his broken attempts at Thai. She shared little stories about her family, her life, her dreams. Michael felt something he thought was gone forever. Warmth, honesty, and a sense of being truly seen. Weeks became months. Michael and Noi spent more time together, walking along the beach, exploring temples, cooking meals at home. It wasn't the wild, passionate love of youth. It was something deeper, steady, real. For the first time since his divorce, Michael didn't feel broken. He felt whole. Pattaya was no longer just a destination. It was home. As Michael looked back at his journey, he realized something important. Losing his marriage had been painful, yes. But without that pain, he would never have left. He would never have discovered Pattaya. He would never have met Noi. Sometimes life destroys everything you know, so it can give you something better. Michael often says now, I came to Pattaya with a broken heart, but I found love, peace, and a new life. The life I was always meant to live.